Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellen. So today we're going to be painting a lovely little Christmas greenery card or winter card. It doesn't have to necessarily be Christmas. We're going to go over the step-by-step of painting on hot press paper. I'm showing you simple brush strokes to paint this. If you're new or just starting out in watercolor, this is like the perfect card for you. Also, if you're a Patreon member, you get the extra one, which is this one, the wreath. And if you would like to be a Patreon member, click the link in the description box down below, and you click on my Patreon link and describes all that's there on Patreon. We have exclusive tutorials on Thursdays and extended ones from YouTube. You get first dibs on watercolor workshops and retreats, which is really good bonus because some of my workshops just sell out on Patreon and don't even go public. And you support my channel here, which I really, really appreciate. But there's always free videos here on YouTube too. So if you can't do Patreon, I totally understand. And you can join and cancel anytime. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so for supplies, I'm using Fabriano's 100% cotton hot press paper. This is a 5x7 pad, and it's bright white, which I love for, painting any kind of Christmas cards. And then you could just glue this on top of like a nice cardstock. If you want to do that, which would be kind of nice, or use it for decor. So simple greens, I don't think we need a trace for this. I think we just take a pencil and you kind of figure out if you want it on the left, coming this way, or the right. I think I'm going to swing it down this way. I'll just I'll have a guide, take my pencil, I'm just going to guide like a line down here. Maybe if you want to put a leaf or two or some branches just to guide you where your first leaves are going. I'm just kind of scribbling them in. However, not necessary. I'm going to paint a lot of these greens. I'm just going to like lightly lightly put in where I'm going to put some greens. I mostly like to paint them. So I just got a couple of new brushes. I have my new Princeton 12 Neptune series and new 12 Aqua Elite. And I'd like to get new brushes, and people ask, how often do you get new brushes sometimes? And it depends on how much you're using them. If you're using them a lot and you don't have a good tip anymore, then you want to get new ones, right? So this has got a great new tip on the loose one. Same thing with the Aqua Elite. Mine are fairly, nice, but now I have a nice, super sharp, pointy tip, which I love. So I'm going to play with this one first. I'm going to mix up some greens. And I always mix my greens. Got cadmium yellow deep. I got some Prussian blue. If you want even like more of a Kelly green, grab the cadmium yellow deep and peacock blue. Now, if you don't have holbein paints and peacock blue, maybe try turquoise. And look at that, it's a perfect Kelly green. You want a variety of greens. I'll get those all ready. So I've got this bright greens, and you want a deeper green too. So I'll just grab that blue again and some yellow and more blue. And I always grab like a brown and mix it in there. So burnt umber or burnt sienna, because it just takes out that blue tinge to it and it gives a nice deep green. And of course reds. I have this wonderful color from Holbein called Pyro Rubin. I really love it. It's like the perfect cherry red. That you can just get that right out of the tube. There's no mixing that. If you want a more orangey red, cadmium red light, I like this one too. Sometimes I mix the two of them together to get like the perfect red for me. We got our reds there. And of course browns, you can just take the browns right out of the tube, or this is burnt umber. So we've got all these little colors, like Christmassy colors, ready to go. It's such a small surface area. We don't need to have a bigger palette here. So or you can have a blue or green, so, or a different kind of green. So I don't normally use ultramarine blue deep, but if I do and I add a little bit of yellow to it, it gets kind of more of a eucalyptus kind of green color. See how the color is just so muted and more of a bluey green. That's kind of a pretty color too. It's very wet, so I'm going to add some more paint here. Just a muted, almost like a eucalyptus color green. Different, totally different. And we can start with that one. And I can just take the tip of my brush and just think about how I'm going to go down like this. Curve down. Already I have a little line just starting in. Just go from here. Just put some simple greens, just pulling your brush like this. And why would I pick hot press over cold press? Sometimes I like to change things up, and I like how the paint kind of sits on hot press sometimes. It's interesting. So I'll start with that one, and I'll take the same kind of brush stroke. I'll go down and kind of just wisp out some greens going like this. You kind of connect it and go up here. And that blue, pale bluish green color. And then I'll kind of pull it down over here. And I'm kind of very delicately touching the paper. I'm dancing on that paper. Now I'm going to go in and grab some of this bright green here. It should seep in pretty quickly, not as quickly as a cold press would. So you'll see some beating up a little bit. Now the same greens, I'm going to go again and do this. And now we have this brighter green. This is not taking any time at all. It's already starting out to look really nice. Now I'm going to add a branch, cleaning off my brush a little bit, grabbing some of this burnt umber. You can add a little Paynes gray to it if you want to look a deeper brown, but I'll keep it this way. And I'm just going to take my brush, kind of go down here like this, over here, pull out some branches like that. And I think I'm going to add another one kind of here. And you can pull branches off that and go up in here. Right? And off that one, we could do some more greens going off that one. I have that Kelly green. I don't know if I want to use the Kelly green, but I'll play around with this. Maybe I'll add a little burnt sienna to it. Make it more olive. Changing up the greens. So a circular little lovely leaf shape here. Just kind of wiggling your brush in a circle like that. And add it here. We might have some pulling out here. And I'll add some stems. They don't have to be super circles. They can be like more ovals too, because they wouldn't be perfect. But look how cute that looks. Right? Kind of look like olives. It's again, I'm going to go back to my brush. I didn't even clean my brush yet. And I'll put some more stems out this way. And I'll get this green. I'm just going to tap the dark green, like just little tippy taps. So we have a different type of leaf kind of happening. Do you see that? Add some holly. Holly could be nice. I'm going to mix these two greens together, the dark and the medium green. Now holly shape is this like a smile upside down or on the side. I'll go right over this one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it might seep through on the other side. I have got many tutorials. I will tag some green tutorials here on this particular tutorial of other greens I've done. 1, 2, 3. It's like waves, but upside down, and connect them. And when you fill it in, I always leave like a white in the middle. I don't always fill it in. And I'm using a big brush. And why am I using a big brush instead of a smaller brush? It just lends itself to making it more loose. Especially if you are a tendency to get really stiff and you wonder why does my stuff look so stiff? You're using a tiny brush. It's just going to go that way. I think I'll put another holly leaf here, kind of up the top. Because it's darker, I'm going right over the colors I painted before. And another one here. I got even darker with the green. Same colors. And I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. So I've got some holly. We're building on top of what we did. And this one's lighter. We can add some deeper color to this one. It's still kind of wet. I might wait till it dries. I like to have some hard edges too, so you can kind of put like a little dark color on this guy on the left hand side. Make the leaf a little more interesting. Right? Again, I'm going to go back in and add some burnt umber with some Paynes gray, deeper brown. And I have a stem kind of coming down here too. Kind of wiggle it down here. I really want this to come down, and I got that nice deep brown color. It's all cascading from the left down to the bottom to the right. So I could take these colors and mix these up together. I'm going to add a little burnt umber, some more ultramarine blue deep, getting a deeper color, playing around with this. And I'm going to make some more little needles again. Just kind of wiggling the brush back and forth, Get a little deeper with the color, so I'm adding some blue and some burnt umber again. This is back and forth wiggle to make this wonderful greens. See, you don't want to do soldier ones like this. You're gonna wiggle and zigzag like this movement. Let me see it sideways so you can see. It's just like that. Dance on the paper. Curl it out. Do whatever you want to do. Put some down here. Little short ones. Little spiky ones. Look how pretty. We're going to add some berries to this too. And this is taking minimal time for a sweet, beautiful decor. And I'll add it back up here. So see how we balance having some light greens, some dark greens, some medium greens. Oh, that good stuff. With the berries, you want to cluster them. So I'm still using the same old brush. So circle, go right on top of the greens. Make some smaller ones, some bigger ones, but you want to cluster them together. And then have a few stragglers here and there. And then we'll add a little stem to that. You see how I did that? They're pretty clustered in that one section. I'm going to come out here and cluster them up over in here. I kind of leave a little white. I kind of go in a circle and fill in some of it, but not all of it, and leave a little white. I'm going to kind of cluster. And then have a couple of stragglers out here. And that's how we do it. You can have a couple of, maybe a couple, 2 or 3 back here. You don't have to have a huge bunch, just to kind of balance in threes if you want to do that. And maybe something in here. 1, 2. It's up to you. Alrighty, I love it. It's like a simple design. I'm going to go back in and get a little bit deeper with this green again, adding those colors, and just kind of wiggle some of this evergreen up here. And of course, for the stem, for the berries, again, just like the burnt umber, and kind of connect some of it going to each other, going into a stem right there. And last but not least, again, I like the first color we did with the pale blue. It's back down here. I'm going to add a little more ultramarine blue deep to it, so it's really kind of a bluish gray green. I'll put a little stem here and I'll wiggle some oval, roundish kind of leaves, and then down here, I do the same thing. I'm changing it up. Now you can also just splatter some lovely green color too. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this color up in here and go off the page. You can make it interesting. I'm gonna get some yellow, woo, chartreuse color, and just kind of wiggle some greens, a little dissy dash, and I would say splatter just a little bit. So I always like kind of slam my brush on top of another brush or pencil or pen to get the effect. I'm only going to do green. I'm not going to splatter the red, although you could. So it's totally up to you. Now my red kind of faded a lot. If you want to go back in with another pass, a little bit thicker with this pie roll, and just do like a little bit on the side. And look, sweet as pie. I don't think this took more than 12 or 15 minutes, not even. Look how sweet that looks. You could add a ribbon to the top, add another big deep dark berry. But I love it. It didn't take much time at all to create a super beautiful green card. You can do more emphasis on maybe just a big twig and then doing that, or just all berries and then do like a ribbon. It's totally up to you. I think that play with the brush strokes. This is the key to all of this loose looking kind of design. I didn't put a ribbon on this. You don't have to. If you're a person who has a computer, you could scan it in and cut certain parts of it off and play around with that. But I hope this was fun and easy for just a simple greeting card. So I hope you like that. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. And like I said before, if you want the extra one with a wreath, Click the link in the description box below to join Patreon to get the wreath tutorial. All right, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.